spawned by hundreds, as the name implies, these spider-like beings creep, crawl, and climb all over the Outer Rift, and pretty much anywhere demons may linger. Created by the once great Quipclop, turned into a demon lord, Mazmezz, the Creeping Queen herself. She's not exactly the most inspiring to go for, and pretty much is the stand-in for Loth, because she works pretty much exclusively with the mortals in the Underdark equivalency. Drows are the main source of worship, as with pretty much anyone who hates demons. It's a low balling going for. They are very particularly good at their job. Seeking, diving, going for them. They are searching machines. Even so far as claiming one of the rare abilities to plane shift themselves. Just to hunt down their diabolical sources of food. Well, they say food, but they don't particularly eat. Mazmezz herself was once a Quipclop turned demon lord. But, unlike most of them, and she holds no desire for that title. She herself has very much hatred towards those who have claimed her living space as their own. Which, fair enough. Fair enough. You want to live in your area and someone invades your land, takes your stuff. But even then, she holds no desires for her previous life either. Shortly changing over to mortals as her new worship, she desires nothing more than to claim her land for herself. She also has an unsavourily devout nature to just consume in a desirable amount of demons. And pretty much anyone who worships her is gonna have to get stuck with that problem. Now, as we go forward and go for it, we have in and of itself the Bebilith. Pretty much what installed her as a demon lord in and of itself. These things are hundreds upon hundreds, just scouring everywhere they can. Primarily hunting and aiming for demons. And obviously, they don't. They're one of the few circumstances of outsiders who don't actually need to eat. They just simply do it for the pleasure of it. And seeing as how they're gimmickly designed to be a spider, it's not surprising. They have pretty lackluster stats considering, but that's Bestiary 1 for you. CR10, and I think they barely can manage an average of like the bite does like 2d6 or 2d4 or something. What is it? Reading's hard, I swear. Nonetheless, their primary focus is not actually involved in their ability to really do damage. They have an odd ability to dismantle armor from enemies, which I'm not sure what demons they're fighting that need to be worried about that, but the scary part is if you do bother to fight adventurers, get prepared to lose that armor real quick, because wandering the abyss is going to be a fun one at that point. Their second common ability, which is a little more valid to go for what they do, they naturally have their chaotic magic, which most outsiders that get up past CR10 tend to have it. It also provides a bonus against demon types, which is very convenient to have Cold Iron and Good on that list, so that really lets them penetrate through that defenses for them. Now, the most deadly thing that can come forward is their quote-unquote poison. It's not actually a poison, but it follows the poison rules. For everything besides the fact that immunity to poison doesn't matter. Biting is, when they bite you, it becomes a very dangerous circumstance of rot. For a solid 5 rounds of withering, each time a very solidly dangerous fortitude save to make, is to take 2 con damage. The average commoner is most likely going to die to that problem just from getting bit once. They'll take it, and the damage will tick, 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 tick. And they're probably not making that fortitude save, especially not with the fact that your constitution just dropped into the water. It still has the loveliness of 2 saves solving it, but Apparently someone decided that it also needs to be healable by healing, by the heal spell itself, which who would have guessed? You stop rotting with life magic. But beyond that, they're pretty much designed to penetrate and destroy through most demon problems. So even when demons do decide to hide behind armor, they have dismantling capabilities. They have penetrating through damage reduction, which is very convenient for most creatures. In fact, if more things could have it, more of it would be really great. But beyond that, they're very good at hunting demons and devils. Hell, even devils would probably be very easy to hunt. The common one is literally just a spider with mantis slicers. They have the capabilities to spin webs like spiders, make themselves nuisances all over, making traversing through the outer realms a lot harder than it probably would want to be. And they've gotten quite a few different iterations depending on when you see them, but for the most part, they're pretty much giant spiders with blades for hands. As for the use of them, I mean, they're cool. I don't usually see a whole lot of them because unfortunately they hunt a very specific type creature. And when you're very specialized in hunting, you're not usually useful for players. And evil alignment tends not to be a common place beyond custom campaigns. But at that point, you know, you're asking for it if you're relying on evil to go around with. As for Mazmezz herself, she is part of that very, very exclusive group of murder hoboing pretty much any demon. But she's also just cleaning out her pretty much attic at that point. When you're considered a nuisance, that's just kind of how that works. There is ironically no real organization to her cult, even though realistically you'd think there would be, but no. No, it kind of just exists, and they do their thing, and everyone does whatever to hunt whoever. I mean, you're pretty much just a gang of spiders at that point, but in and of itself, the cult itself, common among madmen and among humans, of course, and pretty much every cult ends up being with humans, and behave more like a Ramen-like force of destruction. Which, fair enough, she's a demon lord, so you kind of expect that problem to be here. Of course, even with as many human worshippers, seeing as she's the placeholder for Lost, it's a lot of drow. Who would have guessed? Even the House of Mazmezz, the primary focus of vermin worship, is what I'm looking at. And even more so, it's one of the few things that worshippers appreciate having drow around for. Which unfortunately also means driders are very common in the nature too. So who would have guessed? The one group of people who worship the spiders worships the spider god. Who would have guessed? But even then, once you go to the surface, you kind of lose a lot of that worship because when you live in the dark and live as vermin, most races don't appreciate. I'm sure goblins will probably appreciate the worship to it, but goblins don't exactly have the greatest with their intent and focus on it. So who would have guessed? Worshippers of it and going for it. And unfortunately for demons, they came into her home and now they're getting murdered. As for uses of her, you pretty much, I mean, considering they already have the mother of monster running around, it's not going to be particularly noticeable in the world. I mean, I guess if you deal with drow, you might have a problem with them, but you think there'd be a whole lot of cannibalism issues with this problem too, considering spiders are well known for cannibalism, so The domains are as obvious as they are. Animal domain, specifically targeting vermin. Chaos, destruction, evil. Who would have guessed? Subdomains are as easy as to go for. Catastrophe, demon, rage, venom. Simple, simple. And, favored favored weapon's gonna be obvious. Net. Who would have guessed? Now the symbol itself was kind of odd, considering I think it's considered like a skull and a spider web or something. But it's yeah, a skull and a spider web, which I could kind of see, but who knew that would be the inspiration for it? I mean, I guess I can kind of see where the skull is, but spider web, I have no idea. Needless to say, spider children emphasize worship, one of those specialist deities that you're going to see people worshiping if you know vermin specific, which odd for that choice is the picture, but either way, spider god be spider godding. And beyond that, I don't think I've seen any real uses of the deity anyways. I mean, it's a loft knockoff to go for now. But otherwise, about all I can tell you at this point. I mean, if you have any stories of how much it is or how much you scared of spiders, just I guess leave any kind of messaging to it. I'll make sure to leave.